What's up, guys? It's John Dominique, the Soul Proponent, and today I want to talk about this issue of helping people. I like to help people just think a little bit. This past weekend, I was talking to a gentleman at one of my jobs about, one of his churches or the church that he goes to. And, I started asking him some questions about God, because he was talking about how people go to hell and all this stuff here. And I was like, well, what's your definition of hell? And he was like, separation from God. So I asked him, I was like, well, how could we ever be separate from God if God is infinite? And, he tried to rationalize this, and it wasn't really working, but he kept trying to rationalize it, kept talking more and more and just talking in circles and stuff. It didn't really ever answer the question. I find that's going to be a little helpful for him, because he's going to have to think a little bit. And I'm not trying to sweep the rug out from under his feet, because you can't really do that. It might be unhelpful to do that, because people still need something to believe in, and you have to, it's a process. Spiritual awakening is a process. You have to, do it bit by bit, little by little. You can't just sweep all of his beliefs away at once. But I think it's helpful in the degree that he's going to go home and start thinking about this and start questioning himself, like, well, yeah, God is infinite. How could there ever be a hell? And he's gonna have to probably go back and revamp his beliefs and start thinking about something else instead, thinking about how we could ever be separate from God. And I also, asked him about how could there be evil, because God is one. So you got this oneness. So how could there ever be anything to oppose this oneness? And that got him thinking as well. He's like, wait a minute. And I could tell, because he started rambling, started rationalizing, started talking. The mind is a funny thing. It doesn't want to give up on its beliefs. It just wants to keep going and keep rationalizing and go through the thought process, because if it stops, it's scared it's going to die. And it's scared of facing what's infinite and eternal. If it stops, all it's going to be left with is nothingness, that emptiness. And it unconsciously judges that emptiness and that nothingness as bad and has to stay away from it at all costs, pretty much. So if you look at it deeply, these are just things that I like to help people with, just to think a little bit, to help them figure out, maybe my beliefs aren't so right. Maybe I need to question some things that I used to believe. Maybe these are not true anymore. And again, you have to do it piece by piece, little by little. You can't just sweep away all of the beliefs all at once, because if you do that, if the person doesn't have the capacity to hold the state of the emptiness, then it's going to kind of reinforce the personality and its need to believe. It's going to believe harder. It's going to try harder. It thinks if it tries harder, things will get better. But that's not how it works, unfortunately, in the world of spirituality. John Dominique, the Soul Proponent. Peace.